Where do you live now?
Munich.
Munich? Oh, beautiful. Beautiful.
No Munich?
Yeah.
Beautiful city.
We're ready.
I was there for the final of the Champions when they lost to Chelsea. We were there.
Are you
Beautiful.
from Essen, right? Essen,
Essen is hard-working area.
hard-working area.
Listo, John.
Next to Dortmund and Schalke.
Una vez más les damos la bienvenida. ¿Por qué siento como que ya hicimos esto?
No sé, déjà vu.
Déjà vu. Bienvenidos a Fox Facebook Live, como se llame la madre esta. Tenemos un invitado de honor hoy.
Está emocionado, ¿no? Está emocionado.
I'm happy. James Lehman is here.
I'm happy as well.
Se acordarán de los invencibles de Arsenal, el único equipo en terminar invicto una temporada en la época moderna. Él era parte de ese equipo. Very pleased to have you here, James.
Thank you.
Very pleased, very pleased. Él anda promoviendo la liga, la Bundesliga.
Sí. Está promoviendo Golmanía o Golmania, como ustedes le quieran decir. James, John is an Arsenal fan, so he's very excited.
You have to be careful.
He's very emotional right now because you're
I'm
here
an Arsenal
with us.
fan, I'm a Dortmund
A Dortmund fan, yeah. So.
You got probably as well, Schalke as well?
Yeah. Ahí salió Sané, ¿no?
Leroy Sané, yeah.
Leroy
We had a
Sané.
chance here.
Raúl, good years.
Yeah.
So you're wearing your tie in contribution to Arsenal, is
Yes.
that right?
Yes.
Because I was wondering if that is the latest Los Angeles chic.
No.
No.
So, Jens, tell us a little bit, what are you doing here? What brings you here to the U.S.?
Right now I'm here as an ambassador for the German Bundesliga, and we're promoting the Golmania story, which is right now on, because there are 3 games in 11 days.
Okay.
And already on the first match day we've seen 36 goals.
Wow.
So we'd like to have more today and tomorrow and on Sunday.
So I have some facts from Bundesliga. It's the league with the best scoring average from whole Europe. Why is that?
Probably because the keepers are not that good anymore. No, I don't know actually, because the excitement is there because everybody is looking forward to a lot of goals, and we are not a defending nation anymore. Before we had our success due to a solid defense, but now actually we created some productive game, some creative game, and that's probably why a lot of goals are scored.
Álvaro Izquierdo está con nosotros también. Picardía.
¿Cómo estás,
Aprenda de
John?
los campeones.
It's a pleasure to be here with Jens, and he's world champion with 3 different leagues, right? Germany, Italy, and England with Arsenal. What is the place right now from Bundesliga in Europe?
As a German, obviously, I think it's number 1. Sometimes the Premier League is considered to be a worldwide league because they went to Asia quite early. They went to South America quite early to promote their league. But the Bundesliga has kept up during the recent years, and we were just talking about the score lines and the attractiveness, the infrastructure due to the World Cup 2006. So I can say that the Bundesliga as a whole product is fantastic.
Jens, and I wanted to ask you, going to that, the difference between Premier League, Bundesliga, but I'm not asking which one's better because that could be very subjective. What's the main differences? You play with one of the best teams in the history of the game. You play also with really good teams in Germany. What do you think is the main difference?
I'd say that at the time when I was playing in the Premier League, the difference was massive in terms of pace and physicality. Now the Bundesliga has kept up, and I see some games. It appears to me that the pace in the Bundesliga is higher than the Premier League, which didn't happen before. The physical demandings of the Premier League are a little bit higher because you have to have 20 games in one series, so 38 games because there are 20 teams. Sorry, and so the players, they have to become athletes to maintain a whole season. But in terms of tactic and technique, I'd say the Bundesliga is ahead. You see that now, that in the best competition in Europe, the Champions League, there are 2 teams from Germany, and I think it's Leicester.
Yeah.
Still in the competition.
Leicester, yes.
But you can say that
They were
Leicester,
lucky. They were lucky.
And they will not play a major role. So it will be between Bayern and Borussia Dortmund, which team is going to be the best performer in the Champions League in comparison to the Premier League.
Now, why is that the German teams in critical stages in Champions League, they cannot advance? you put Bayern Munich on the other side, but let's say Mönchengladbach, they did an amazing game against Barcelona and they end up losing, and Dortmund. So why they cannot advance through the biggest stages?
Well, at the end, I think quality is displayed on the pitch by the fact that teams like Barcelona, they have a fantastic squad with quality players, and the quality of the individual players like Messi or Iniesta or some others, Suarez, Neymar. I mean, if you call the names, and you hardly find any name which you know from Borussia Mönchengladbach. So you can see that the individual quality is much higher in those teams. But as a team, I think the German teams are doing really well, particularly considering that they are not that well financially equipped.
That's a good point.
And is it a factor that the Premier League doesn't stop in December? That it's in Germany stops for a month? Do you think that affects them at the this?
Of course, when you are playing with an English team, you don't want to draw a German team after the winter break because they have rest.
Right.
They come fresh. They can go 180 minutes at full speed, and sometimes the period between Christmas and New Year is the hardest, and you don't have time to recover from that.
Right. Because I tried to explain to this guy, they don't believe me, James, that it's difficult. Because we talked to Brad Friedel, and he was saying that in the English Premier League, every week it's so difficult to win. It's so difficult that when they go to Europe, they're like kind of drained.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult to win in Germany as well. But at the end, a team like Bayern Munich will win against Ingolstadt or Augsburg or Darmstadt. When you look at Spain, I think there are only a few games which are really, really challenging for Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, and Real. That's a big difference.
Jens, will we fight with that guy? Who is the best keeper today?
Well, as he said, it's always hard to say the best. But I can tell you that if I'd picked a keeper, it would be Manuel Neuer.
All right.
Well, but he's German.
I am not German, and for me, Manuel Neuer is the best right now.
Why? Because he's German, aside than being German.
Because he learned at Bayern, he learned to concentrate and to be there when it really matters. Before at Schalke, he had a lot to do, so you never lose your concentration. But at Bayern, it's harder because during probably 95% of the game, he doesn't need to do anything. And all of a sudden, he needs to pull a save.
Right.
And he's technically nearly perfect. Yeah, his domination of the area, cross-taking could be better, but apart from that, he ticks every box, and he's brave. So.
Well, same thing happened to you. I mean, you didn't have to do anything with Arsenal, guy. Get the ball and just keep it.
The evolution of German goalkeepers. If you see Manuel Neuer, Ter Stegen, Leno, they're really good with their feet. So they evolve from being good goalkeepers and now being part of the team, like an extra player.
Is that with goalkeepers in general? From your time?
For example, when I was starting, I was lucky because at the time they've changed the rule. And I started when I was young. I started as an outfield player, so I could play with a ball. And fortunately, they've changed the rule because all the other old keepers who were ahead of me in terms of experience, and positioning, and stuff like that. They couldn't play anymore because they couldn't use their feet.
Exactly.
Right.
But you didn't start to play a keeper, right? You played to forward at the beginning, right?
Forward, yeah.
Right.
As a forward.
What took you back to
madness? Probably.
Well, they say you had to be a little bit crazy to be a goalkeeper, right?
Well, probably you have to be less fearful than an outfield player.
That's true. Well, tell us a little bit about the average age in Bundesliga, because we have seen a lot of young players coming through, and not just being part of the team, but being important players in different teams. And the last example was Kai Havertz from Leverkusen. He's just 17, and he's being an important part for Leverkusen.
At the age of 17?
Yeah.
Well, it was a lot of youngsters.
It's just they had a lot of injured players, so there was no option. And when he was inside of the pitch, he did really good for the age of 17.
Yeah, you're right. But we're talking about a player who's technically well equipped and who in a surrounding like by Leverkusen, which is a good team, it's easier for him to perform.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't expect from such a player to have a leading role. Because I think you know as well, it comes with maturity.
Yes.
And nowadays, this generation, they got problem with leadership.
Yes.
Because they don't need to talk, because talking to somebody else means putting pressure on him. And if yourself not doing well, pressure comes back to you. They don't like it.
Gents, who's going to win the Champions?
Sorry?
Champions League.
What Champions League?
Who's going to win it?
Well, we hope a German team like Borussia or Bayern. And I think they got good chances.
You think Bayern has a good chance against Real Madrid?
Yes. I mean, Real Madrid always scares Bayern a little bit.
I thought the Germans didn't get scared. Nobody scares the Germans. You know, that's the way we always say it. Nobody, even Maradona in his book says, man, don't even try to intimidate the Germans. They never get scared. He says in his book, you know, it's...
kind of cold-blooded.
Yeah.
You know, you have a better rhythm in dancing and stuff like that. When it comes to being there when it matters, you're not bad.
Right.
All right, guys.
Yeah, ¿no hay preguntas?
La pregunta es, ¿qué partido vamos a ver hoy?
Eintracht. Dile cómo se dice.
How do you pronounce Eintracht? Because her German is not good.
Eintracht.
Frankfurt, de Marco Fabián.
Eintracht.
Y who else?
Werder Bremen.
No, I can't say that. Bremen. Y Werder Bremen estará aquí en las pantallas de Fox Deportes.
You're such a nice guy. You were transformed yourself when you were on the pitch.
You always have to play your role.
Yeah, that's a good one. Bueno, quédense en Fox Deportes, nos vemos aquí al ratito.
We'll be back in... ¿A qué hora salimos? A las 11.
A las 11.
No, a las 11, 11 o'clock en el Pacífico, 2 en el este. James Lehman va a estar con nosotros.
Gracias. With all the facts. Did you have it?
Yeah.